What if you can make a bet that you can turn anyone into a profitable trader? This is exactly what they did with the turtle traders. They even placed an ad in the newspaper asking for people, sign up and we will make you a profitable trader. And this is the most popular trading strategy I think on earth. And I made a video a while back that really was liked by a lot of people, and I was thinking like, okay, I didn't even build a whole strategy in that video. So for the trading plan, watch that video, but I'm gonna recap that very shortly here. And then we dive into how actually the turtle traders traded back then, and can you still use this strategy nowadays, and is it still profitable? So the trading plan, first of all, we're gonna focus on buys. It's very similar to the Donjon channel breakout strategy that we previously covered, but price breaks the 20-day high. So that's exactly the same as last video, but we are managing this trade completely different. Like, there is a whole new method I never shared here before, and I'm gonna explain it. And that is, we don't have a target in place. We have a stop loss of 2 ATR, and then every time we float 0.5% in profits, we're gonna scale in. And that means that if we take the breakout and then we are floating nicely, then we have another breakout. If that then floats nicely, we're gonna take another breakout, and we do that 4 times. So max amount of trades is 4 at once, then we stop because otherwise you just keep scaling in. But this is super powerful, and I want you to maybe even learn this method and use it on your other algorithms. Because scaling in is something people don't talk about often. It's normally scaling out, but with trading, often you have to do things that other people are not doing, and therefore scaling in when you're right, that is what made the turtle breakout strategy profitable back in the days. That's maybe something you can still use, and I've tested it myself on some strategies, and it is super interesting. Then we trail the stop loss, all the stops together. If you have like 4 trades open eventually, then you'll have 4 different stop loss levels. That is solved by a method I'm gonna show you in Profectus as well, because the turtle traders had 1 point of exit, so all the positions all have the same stop loss level. So if that level is hit, they are just wrong, they exit all their trades. And then we trail our stop loss with market structure. This is again trailing on the highs and the lows, or on candle lows and highs. I'm gonna show you how that works as well. This is the turtle breakout strategy. We're gonna dive into the charts, see some setups, see how it behaves, and then of course we're gonna build it step by step so you have this strategy at the end of the video. If you're new, this is your building canvas. You can drag and drop all the blocks that you want to use to automate your trading plan. We already pre-coded it for you so you don't have errors or anything like that. And let's dive into how this strategy actually works. I talked to you about, okay, if you build a strategy and it doesn't work the first way, when you test it over long-term historical data, you will see that you need to add some creativity. And that's exactly what I want to show you in this episode, because it is so important to add creativity. Because I tested this, and just like the same conclusion I had with the prior video, is the 20-day breakouts or the 10-day breakouts on FX pairs like euro dollar, or just in general in Forex, is not that good compared to if you do it on maybe BTC, Ethereum, or the stock market, where this turtle strategy initiated from. Like, this wasn't traded that often, I think, on FX pairs. It was back in the days traded on US 30 maybe, or just some individual stocks. So therefore, I want to give you a proper lesson in how to turn this overall idea of scaling in to positions, which is super unique and can be super profitable, how to build that in Profectus and how to use that on other algorithms. And if you don't have algorithms yet, you can also find like template strategies here. We have a lot of other strategies on our channel that you can check out. So let's dive into this. First of all, what I want to show you is what I did was change something in the code, and I'm gonna show you. And then I backtested very quickly this dollar-yen system, and we're gonna improve this obviously together in this video. But what I want to share with you is I exported the MT5 report and then uploaded it to the analyzer of Profectus. You can find that by going to analyzer.profectus.ai and then throw in whatever MT5 report you have, and then you get a proper report back, which is a super cool free feature you can use. With that said, let's go back into the charts. What do we have here? So we have a lot of breakout trades, and then we are closing all the trades together, and that looks quite cool, right? So I created this strategy for you. You will be able to download it in the description below, but there are some things we need to adjust and work together. So sit down, relax, and let's build this right now. First, let's go back to Profectus AI. What do we do? Well, first of all, one at night, again, like most of the times, we want to check something in the markets. Right now, we want to talk about inputs and variables. Those are more advanced features of our platform. An input is a setting in MetaTrader that you can adjust. So if you go to inputs, you have here certain inputs, and you can find them also here under inputs. You can see trailings, multiplier, risk, look back. Those are the things I created in Profectus right here. Trailings, multiplier, risk, look back. And then if I create an input and use that in a block, let's say we have buy now and then money management, it is risk. Instead of a number, we now just have risk. And by creating an input, you can adjust it here. You can also optimize it. Like if you go to optimization, you can optimize an algorithm. Let's say we want to optimize risk, which doesn't make sense because this risk per trade, but just as an example, you can say, okay, I want to see what my returns are with 0.1% per trade. Then I want to add 0.1 to that, so it becomes 0.2, and we're gonna run that back test. And then you can see here, steps is 100. So we're gonna, if I click on start, now the computer will backtest 100 different risk backtests, and then you can see what the backtest is. Obviously with risk it doesn't make sense, but maybe your look back period, how far you look back, or your stop loss or your target, you want to optimize that maybe, right? And you can also use like all symbols in Market Watch. That's like testing all the pairs you have here under your symbols, but that is a different lesson. But that's what inputs are. Like inputs are needed if you want to run 100 backtests while you sleep, while you do something else, and you come back and you see, my strategy is the best with those settings. Then we have variables, and variables are, how I always say it, is like writing something down. Maybe you want to remember, or your algorithm needs to remember what the high is right here. Normally as a human being now, if this high, we look here to the price and then we remember that, or we write it down as well. An algorithm doesn't have a brain, it doesn't have eyes either, so you have to give it something, and that's, you can store this high in a variable and then it remembers. Maybe if it breaks, you're gonna take a trade. So what we do is at 1 at night, we're gonna modify a variable. So we create a variable and we're gonna save something. So we call the variable high. I already created it here for you. The high, default, normal, the value of that is 0 when we start the algorithm. But at 1 at night, we're gonna do something. We're gonna change this 0 to a number. And what number is it? Well, we're gonna find the highest price of the candle period between 1 and look back. Look back is set up at 6, but you can do it 20, obviously. And then we are looking back now between 1 and 20 bars. And if you run this on a daily time frame, then we are looking back to find that 20-day high. Remember? What do we do with that information? Well, after we find that, we're gonna go here, run per tick. So every tick we're gonna look for something, and that is when price breaks this high level. This high used to be 0, so before 1 it is 0. Well, price will never reach 0, I think, because we're sitting at 147 here. So 0, then something crazy is going on. But price is breaking above the high, and the high we found here, and the high can be whatever number now. If we break that price high, if that is true, we're gonna count how many trades we have. If we have 0 trades open and 0 orders open, we're gonna execute a buy now position. And we gave it a tag, so a group number, and that will be explained in this lesson because we have multiple trades and we want to manage the trades independently. That's super advanced. Normally you just keep this empty, but we're gonna not execute one trade, but we're gonna execute a second, a third, a fourth, and then we're gonna manage them all. Therefore, this is quite an advanced strategy we're gonna build together. But at the end, you will understand it properly if I do my job well. We have here money management is risk. That is an input. I just like to have that as an input so I can quickly change it. Like normally I have it sit at 1%, but maybe you want to reduce the risk or whatever. Then we have custom price level is a stop loss. And this is a variable that we have calculated somewhere, and we calculate that right here, but I'll explain that later. And then after we take the buy trade, we're gonna change the high back to 0 because we stored it was 0. Then we found at 1 at night, we found this high. But when this high breaks, I don't need it anymore. It's like crossing it out on your piece of paper. We broke the high, we took a trade, and then just as a best practice, I'm just gonna change this high back to the value 0. So it's just back to normal again. It's now 0, and price cannot break 0 or above 0, so we'll not have another trade. And that's just how I like to do it, okay? But now we have a buy now taken, and what is next? How do we get the stop loss? Stop loss is done right here. And by the way, if you remember this strategy maybe from the webinar I did last year, in this video I'll talk about something new, so don't worry about it. And otherwise it's a great lesson to remember how group numbers work, but there is something special that I didn't share back then. We have run per candle, and then we are going to count trades. So we're gonna count if we don't have a group number 1 trade open. If we don't have the trade open, so this didn't happen yet, what we are going to do is go to modify variable. You have the ATR1 variable. What is that value? Well, it starts at 0, just like the rest, right? They all start at 0. And then we're gonna save the information of the average true range of the 20, which is just an indicator. You can see the indicator here on my charts, like this indicator. We're gonna use this value at the moment of time that we execute the trade, because that value is the stop loss. So that can be like 20 pips, for instance, okay? We're gonna modify the variable times a multiplier. So here, let's say you have the value 20, 0.20, so 20 pips. Then you want to multiply that maybe by 2. Let's say then it becomes 40 pips, and that's your stop loss. That's why we have a multiplier, but we can adjust the multiplier, it's an input. And after that, we have a formula. We take the current market price. Let's say price is up here, 150.6. We use that number, we do minus ATR1, so minus those 40 pips, and then you know your stop loss level, okay? From there, what do we do? Well, if we have a group number 2, a buy 2 trade open, I want to recalculate the stop loss. And that's what I explained at the start of the video, is every time a new trade is open, we need to calculate the new stop loss for all the trades. And that is the only complex thing of this strategy. Then after we have a buy now trade, okay, we executed this buy now trade, 1% risk per trade, and we have no target but a stop loss in place. What happens when we have a group 1 trade open? Well, we have these blocks that are triggered every tick, every time price moves, and this block eventually will figure out we have a group 1 trade open because we executed a buy now trade with group number 1. When that happens, we're gonna check every tick if this is floating 0.5% in profits. If it does, then once per trade, I'm gonna open a second trade because we want to scale in to a second position. We're gonna use the custom price level stop loss, that's that same variable, and that is now calculated by these 4, right? So that already is the right stop loss we want to use. And then we're gonna modify the stop loss to that same price level. Here we select group number 1, we check the profits if we are floating 0.5%, then once per trade, we're gonna change this group number 1 that we selected above here, we're gonna modify the stop loss to this new stop loss value, okay? When we executed this trade, we had the stop loss in place, but it was the old one because here it gets updated. Now we calculate a new one, okay? At the moment that we executed this second trade, and then we modify it, okay? This second trade has a group number 2 and the rest is the same. So now we have 2 trades open with the same stop loss, and now we are just waiting for the next thing to happen. So this is group number 2 buy now. We're gonna select this. So this triggers every tick, and eventually there's this trade open, and then this block thinks, wait, we have a group 2 trade open, so it's yes, we check the profit of that trade, and once per trade, we're gonna modify the group number 2 trade to the new custom price level, which is the new stop loss that's calculated here. And we of course execute the third trade with group number 3, and then we select trades. What trade do we select? Also group number 1, because we also want to manage that trade. We select it, we also trail the stop loss back to that same new level.
And then at the same time, now you have 3 positions open, all have the same stop loss. We don't have a target. And now we are waiting for this one to trigger. Do we have a group 3 trade open? Yes, we just executed it here. So then the next tick we select, we check if that one is floating profits. Well, we just opened it, so it takes a while. But eventually, if we do float 0.5% in profit, we're gonna, once per trade, execute number 4. And we're gonna modify the stop loss back to the new level of trade number 3. We're also gonna select trade number 2 and 1. So 1 first, and then also 2 we're gonna use there, and we trail it. So it looks very complex, but it's just doing the same thing over and over again. This part can also be made way easier, but right now that is the bigger lesson here. And we have here, then we select group 4, check profits. If we float 0.5% again on that highest buy, we're gonna trail our stop loss, and we're gonna select group 1, 2, and 3, and 4 all together. And we start trailing the stop loss on the lowest price of the last candles. So we manage all these 4 trades now together with a trailing stop loss. This is how this whole build works. What I want to share with you now is this strategy in general is not a great one nowadays, especially not for FX traders. It's hard to get very profitable, so you have to add some creativity. But we know that like London breakouts, New York breakouts, those are edges we covered in past videos, and those are very interesting strategies. So what you can do is use this whole strategy of scaling in, but changing this overall trade rule, breaking that 20-day high. That is not an edge. Like breaking that high is not an edge in the markets, but we can plug in another edge, right? So an easy thing you can do here is, let's see, change this 1 to, let's say, 6 in the mornings, like we trade the Asian breakout. And then we select, we keep this at current, but instead of running this on the daily time frame, we now run it on the 1 hour time frame. 6 in the morning, we find the high. What high? Well, we're gonna change this look back maybe to 6. So we are looking at 6 in the morning, 6 hours back, and that's the whole Asian session. And then we find the high. The high is stored, and now this strategy turned from a daily strategy to a 1 hour Asian breakout strategy. You have some other rules you can add here, but then if you run it, you can see that we take these trades, and we already recently we have a big edge, so maybe you can squeeze that. What I would do is also add like an imbalance of yesterday that we only trade after consolidation, or you test this maybe on other pairs with maybe different management. Like you can optimize a lot of things. You have the trading number you can optimize, you have the multiplier like the stop loss. Right now we use that ATR stop loss, but maybe adjust that to a different stop loss size like we have with other strategies. And that is how you improve a strategy like this. So you have the foundation, but even if you build this and you realize, the edge is not really there, it was a great lesson for you to understand group numbers, and using just this piece in other algorithms, which I did myself, increased my edge massively for some of my systems. And I have some systems that scale in 1, 2, or 3 times, and just like this strategy does as well. So sometimes you find an edge that is maybe not ideal, it's not plug and play right away, but using that information is what you can do for other strategies like the Asian breakout, or the inside bar from next week is a very, very interesting edge already, how I give it to you. And yeah, I see you in that episode. If you have other questions, join our Discord below. If you have quick lessons you need for yourself to build this, understand things better, you can just ask right here in the chat. Okay? Speak to you in the next week's episode.